and then we can go.
Okay.
Checking audio. Check. 1,
There it
2,
is.
3. All right.
Okay, we're hearing. You talk, please.
I'm talking.
Talk.
I'm also talking.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want me to talk further. I mean, I'll talk a whole bunch in
I
there.
hear us now.
That much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 757. I was going to say 729. It's October 29th, episode 757. Yeah, just take it as you will. We are a podcast that tries to be professional, but occasionally miss the mark. We're a little late today. That's okay. But I blame mostly the stupid time change. Normally, we're on at 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. in the West Coast, 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. Central Time Zone. But all those things actually happened an hour ago, with the exception of the UK, because you guys just went through a time change. And of course, we're nice. We like our UK friends. So we always adapt to their time frame, because 9 p.m., it's late. We get it. So anyway, we're here. We're there. We're now. I don't know what's happening. I do know Kim Woods is on the podcast.
I am, and I'm happy to be here. It's cold here today, but that's okay. I've got my cocoa and pineapple. I almost said pineapple. What the fuck? Peppermint rum chata keeping me warm. So thank God for that.
There's again, I'm staying away from the pineapple jokes too. Also
know, right?
on the podcast, in similar weather, I think, Robin Tate.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Are you well? No, it's wet and crap, and it's not cold enough to kill the bugs, and it's not warm enough to be happy, and it's not dry enough to be outside, but it's still good enough to get shorts on.
You're a brave man.
I'm a Californian at heart.
Yeah, I saw the little snippets there. Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway, you know what? No, it's not happening here. Cold weather.
Yeah, I know.
72 degrees and sunny, baby. Loving it. Hey, thank the both of you for making the show. We do have to say, starting late, again, Mark's fault. It's his fault for the time change. It's his fault for the audio getting messed up because Robin bought a new PC. We'll talk about it later. Sorry, Robin, spoilers. But look, we are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. If you are on any of those platforms as you're watching this, you are welcome to join the chat live.
Right.
Also, like, subscribe, do that thing that the kids do. Occasionally, we're on the tweets as well. We throw things out there for now and then. So, you can follow us there. You can follow us all individually there as well. We're all in various levels of social media interaction. Although, Robin, you've been mostly just posting your videos. I haven't seen you very active on the commentary side of the world in the tweets.
What do you mean?
Are you backing off the tweets, Robin?
What do you mean?
I don't see you as active on the Twitter sphere as much as I used to.
You mean like
Yelling at angry people, people just randomly like an old man, basically.
should I get my MAGA hat out now?
Maybe. Okay.
No, I don't need that shit. Who needs that shit? Nobody has time for that. I have so little time anyway. Why would I get involved
This is true.
Why would I get involved in with a whole bit of twats? Yeah. So I do find myself getting caught in it and looking at people's comments and going twat.
You know what I do, which is maybe it's a good thing. I'm assuming it's a good thing at the end of the day, because I will often see just posts out there and I start writing a response and I get all the way to the end of it to hit send.
And then you don't.
Delete. Yeah. I'm like, is this worth inviting this trouble to come back to me?
I am comfortable in my politics. I'm comfortable where I am, and I associate myself with friends who can have a conversation, good or bad, and agree with me or disagree with me, and I don't need to do that anymore. I did very
so
active,
now you're pretty much on there with your your racing
I just-
videos.
yeah,
I see a
and
lot of those.
Yeah, and I just
and your OnlyFans dick pics.
and the
That's,
OnlyFans. No, well,
yeah.
the OnlyFans is very useful for getting out files and stuff like that. There, that you want to charge for. It's not just fans of my dick pics. Sorry, I don't have dick pics. It's for files. Honestly,
For files. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Files of what, Robin? Files of what?
files.
Who knows?
Who
Unless
knows?
you're a Patreon or a subscriber. Anyway.
Oh, boomer.
Look, also, sad news.
Oh no.
I just want to
What's
throw
sad
this
news?
out there. We have officially broken our ties and have stopped all funding of the Faith Accessible Ginger School.
Oh yes.
So no longer are we supporting this this
It took me
establishment.
10 minutes to come
And
up with that.
yeah. Anyway, we've got a couple of birthdays.
What's
Actually,
it
just
called
one.
again? What's the school? The Faith?
Faith Accessible Ginger School.
My goodness, what would be the short version of that?
Pete Chin is the headmaster of this.
Oh, fags. Okay.
And yeah, we're no longer supporting it. And ironically and unfortunately, this is coming just on the precipice of Pete turning 76.
Oh yeah, yes.
And
really?
yeah, he's doing that the 1st of November. So he looks much younger, but he has an old soul, and that actually is old age really just coming through. So Pete, happy ginger birthday to
Oh,
you.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, Kim. No, it'll be your birthday eventually.
Happy
Birthday, yeah.
birthday to you. Happy
Dan.
birthday to you. Happy birthday. Insert name here. Happy birthday to you.
Gentleman was not recognized.
There you go.
I love that song.
It's cool, isn't it?
Fits right. Anyway, hey, let's do some story time.
All right.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
I think I actually got sleep last night. That's why I've got a lot of energy right now. It's not I'm high on caffeine. It's been a low caffeine day, but I have a ton of energy.
Yeah, well,
They
sleep
say
well.
this happens when you get older.
Energy.
You have it in spurts.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I was watching a video today about this young girl that gets up at 3:30 into 4 o'clock every morning, and she studies and works and does her workout and then does a full day's work and then does all her other social media stuff. But she goes to bed at 7 or half 7.
well, yeah.
Jesus.
So like, I get it. You want to fit in the extra days, but really,
Well, but you're not. See,
There's a balance.
There's a misnomer here. You're not really fitting in the extra days at that point. All you're doing is you're shifting your work day to an earlier start time.
Yeah, and she's saying she works better at that time of day.
Which is fine. Good for her, but she misses out on all the fun things that happen after 7 p.m. And most of the really, really, really fun things happen after 7 p.m.
Yeah, like the Overseas Connection podcast.
Exactly. All right. Kim, what's been going on with you?
Well, yesterday we went to my brother's house because it was Colton's 5th birthday, if you can believe that. So, yeah. So, my nephew Colton is officially 5. Holy moly, they're growing up.
wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's insane.
So that was a good time.
Yeah, good.
Other than that, with the temperatures around there been so low, now we're getting freeze warnings. So that's no fun. Apparently, I really do need to put the shorts and flip flops away.
Now, quick question, Kim, because you do live on a very large amount of land.
Right.
I believe somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 acres, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Is it all like, is it farm or is it strictly ranch for like horses, that kind of thing?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We have hay ground that we get. Yeah, we get the hay every year, and then of course we have the horses. So that's about it. Yep.
All right.
So
okay.
yeah, freeze
And
warning
how-
because it's cold.
Yeah. How is the development of Raccoon City?
Well, so far at least since I put the cat houses in, we've had no more kittens disappear. I think it's because it's cold at night, so they're all inside the cat houses. So the raccoons, have to work for it. I am looking into raccoon repellent because I told you guys this, but here the other morning at like, I don't know, what was it, 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere in there, I had a cat fight right outside my window. Well, come to find out it was a cat and raccoon fight because there was at least a 20-pound raccoon out there who was running away. And that little sucker shimmied up a tree like it was nobody's business. And I'm thinking, you know what, for as fat as he is, that's impressive. So, and believe it or not, they make raccoon repellent, which is like these little granule things. And I guess you sprinkle them around and get them wet. And I don't know, they put out some sort of odor that apparently repels raccoons. So I'm going to get some and try it out. They also have these ultrasonic things. But the bad thing is raccoons and cats are similar. So if I get one of these ultrasonic things, is it going to also run off the cats? So I think we'll try the granules first and see how they go. And
Yeah, the ultrasonic thing, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just annoying. So
Right.
they just don't want to be around it.
right.
Likely that would run off your cats as well. Might not be the worst thing in the world since
Right.
I've learned how many there actually are outside.
Right.
Okay,
Well-
we got to talk about this, Kim. I'm sorry. I
forgot.
know I
Here
said
we
I
go.
wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up now.
All right, bring it
So,
up.
okay, on the podcast, we've talked about you have a plethora of cats.
Yes, I have a horde. Yes.
And you use the words horde, and
Yes.
in my head, I'm like, I think she's somewhere around 11 to 12 cats. Now,
I
before we
wish.
say anything, I invite the chat, since they're all there right now, just take a wild guess. How many cats do you think Kim has? Both indoors and outdoors. We make no stipulations here. Indoors, outdoors. How many cats do you think Kim has approximately? We're going approximately because I don't think Kim even has a definitive number,
Not a definitive no.
but there's a close approximatation.
Love
So
you,
I'm just
Boomer.
throwing that out there. We're gonna have a little pregnant pause here to let the chat catch up, and they'll think about it. They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, okay." Is it higher or lower than my number? You could go that way too. I had it at 12. So there. We're just
Rookie
throwing that
numbers.
out there. What is the cat total in the Shea Woods house, now affectionately known as Raccoon City? Okay, I see 1 million. Boomer, come on.
It
We know
feels
that's
like it some
incorrect.
days.
However, Boomer came back with 30, so there's a 30 number has been thrown out.
I
seems
would
awfully
I would go
lofty.
for I would go for a dozen.
Hardly Dan,
about 12.
Also in the chat, I think Hardly Dan needs to weigh in on
I would
this.
do about 12. I think.
Robin's sticking with 12. I thought 12 solid number personally.
No,
Kim, we're gonna make you
unfortunately
reveal. This is this is the job. You have to reveal how many cats truly are within the compound of the Woods family.
not. Okay.
I'm ready. I can
See,
take it.
Boomer knows. All right. As Boomer says, maybe in the house. Yeah, I have 11 cats in my house,
Oh,
and I
what?
have close to. Shit, like Greg says, I'm not even really sure. This could be off by a little bit, but I have around 30 or so outside. So
Okay, this
But I
number did
must-
drop, by the way, in just within about 15 minutes or so, because last count it was 40 outside.
well,
It's
between 30 and
dropped to
40.
30.
So yeah,
Okay.
you
I
know.
see.
like
So
you-
again,
like
we're
you
dealing
said,
with fuzzy government math here. I see
Right.
what's going on.
Because I never know
but-
from one day to the next. Because
All
I
right, so
have
we're
one show
just
up
going to run
somewhere.
with 41.
All right, we'll do that.
Conservatively,
All right.
41 cats.
Yep.
I feel like an intervention is necessary at some point. And it's not
Again,
just for you,
as-
Kim. It's not just for you. It's for your dad, too. He is a
Right.
notorious cat thief. He just finds kittens everywhere. He steals
Right.
them and he brings them home.
I know. What are you gonna do? But to be fair, like I said, vet bills are high, and to get a female fixed, it's over $200. So hence, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I could get all my tomcats fixed, but that doesn't help the neighbor's tomcat that comes over, and that
Well,
I've
you
got
kill that
kittens and right, right. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
sure the
start
neighbors
killing
would
your
love
neighbor's
that.
cats, Kim. Come on.
Sure, they'll love that. But so, but I feed them and take care of them. If they have to go to the vet, they go to the vet. But I am working with my vet because the secretary did tell me if I could get her a number of how many I wanted to get fixed, they could cut me a break. So I'm working on that now. So it is one of those things.
I love that you're going to get a gross price.
Sometimes it comes to that.
You know what you need to also say is that would cash work as well? Can I get a cash discount, please?
Right. Well, that's
So.
it. So at least I'm trying to be proactive. I mean, I've thought a few times I ought to start a GoFundMe and see if I could get somebody to, throw some money at me to kind of help with the situation. But I don't know. I don't feel right doing that either. So
Maybe start an underground cat fixing.
Right.
ring. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But I am being proactive about it because I'm at least checking into it. But like I said, at $200 a pop, it just
That
you
is
know,
pretty hefty.
yeah. So anyway,
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Boomer, since you were the only one that took the guess, Dan was too chicken to make the guess. You win the grand prize of nothing. Congratulations.
yay!
All right. Kim, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. I did break out the cat ears for Halloween, so there we are. Since it is our pre-Halloween show, so
Absolutely going the extra mile to dress
There
up
you
for
go.
us. I appreciate that.
I try. Well, I could have put the tail on too, but who would have seen that? Because I'm sitting on it. So
I would have gotten in trouble if I had said turn around and shake your ass. So
exactly.
yeah, there's no
So I'm
need
just
for the
looking out for
tail.
the best of us, right?
You do have a little Wicked cat shirt on as well.
Yeah,
so.
it says Wicked without coffee, which sums me up
Okay,
nicely.
all right.
So yeah, so I'm trying. So there's
Okay.
that. Anyway, so happy Halloween for all you people who's
Yes.
going to celebrate Halloween. And that's
we'll,
it for me.
we'll be talking about Halloween in just a minute or two.
I
Robin,
figured.
Yeah.
Tate, did you ever figure out how to make pumpkin pie?
No.
What?
In fact, the big massive bowl of pumpkin innards went into the recycling bin today. I thought,
I don't.
if he can buy it,
the same thing.
I can buy one. I was going to go look up a recipe, get it all done. I went, no, frig that. Yeah.
And
we-
technically, you don't use the innards; you actually use the pumpkin. So
What,
the
the
innards
skin?
wouldn't have done you any good anyway.
Also true.
Mm.
Robin texted me yesterday, full transparency. He texted me and says, "Hey, you have a recipe for pumpkin pie?" And I'm like, "No,
We buy it."
because he said because it's not a thing over here, and I get that.
Right.
Halloween really it is and it isn't a thing over there.
It is. It
depends
is a
upon
big
where you
thing.
are.
Pumpkin pie.
Is it?
I mean, look, when I was a kid, nobody knew what a pumpkin was. It was something you seen in movies, in cartoons. If you were rich enough over here for Halloween, you carved out a turnip and put a candle in it, and the friggin' thing stunk because the candle cooked the turnip.
Yep.
And it was this little tiny thing we couldn't afford. Rich people had things like pumpkins and Americans, but not us. Flip me. I remember my mum coming home with sweet corn for the first time, and we thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. When we ended up shooting flipping sweet corn out of our backside for about a month because it was just a treat. Kiwi fruit. Wow, my God. Remember, look at these. What are these hairy things? And that was when I was a kid. We didn't have that stuff. So yeah, our pumpkins were turnips.
Yeah. When puberty hit, also said, "Look at these hairy things."
Right.
Yeah, we were poor.
So just a Boomer fresh pumpkin pie is or homemade pumpkin pie, excuse me, is fantastic. Also, Costco makes an amazingly good pumpkin pie. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm just laughing
Also-
at the fact he got all of Greg to see if Greg actually had a pumpkin pie recipe.
I should have
because
asked
Greg
you,
would be
Kim.
the-
I should have
Right,
asked you.
Greg's
I
the
know.
last person I would have thought
Like-
of that.
Who's the baker out of all of us?
Okay, Nicole, maybe Kim probably would have been the
Yeah.
better idea than you. Yeah.
Yeah, because basically my reply was,
You
look it up
buy
on
it.
the internet.
Look it on the internet.
And
oh,
we buy 'em,
Google
so
it.
I don't
You told me
care.
to fucking Google it. Cheeky bastard. That was the last straw. It really was.
Yeah. At that point, it's like. So aside from the pumpkin pie.
Okay, well, we made
conundrum.
pumpkins. We had pumpkins. We had pumpkins last night. Felt really crap last week. Really, really, really awful. I had a really big work week. A lot of stuff going on from the deal, and this week I'm traveling a bit to make sure the first of those goes in properly. And my boss. So a couple of years ago, a big group bought the controlling share of our company, and my boss for the last 20 years was a major shareholder with another guy. The other guy sold his shares, but Martin kept his shares. But he was on must have been on a 2-year deal, because on the 21st of October 2 years ago, I looked it up on my booking.com. I was in a hotel when the announcement was made as a group thing that this company has bought us over. And last Monday, he called the sales team together to say, "Yeah, guys, I'm out of here, and my son now has all the shares, and he'll take over my role from the 1st of November. I'm not staying
wow.
1 minute longer than I need to." He wouldn't go as far as that, but yeah, he's bolting out the door. So that's.
And how do we feel about the son? Or should we say this out loud? Maybe not.
He's
Okay.
wonderful,
We'll move on to a
fantastic
different
lad,
topic.
as every boss's son is. And yeah, so
Change is never easy.
But for me, work wise, going very, very well. That sort of stuff, and felt rotten through the week. And it's just a head cold, a headache. I'm having a beer tonight because frigate. I had a bottle of wine the other night just to try and work my way through. But I feel decent, and then it's all a head cold. That's just that time of year. So yeah, I apologize for being late tonight. It is my fault, and I should have known better. So I have my new streaming and video editing PC. It arrived on Tuesday. Listen, nothing. It's a big nothing burger of nothing, no noise whatsoever. Where my last diesel engine, bless your heart, was now 12 odd years old. So we bought Dan a ready-made video editing. Again, over a couple of years, you start to get to learn a wee bit about the PC stuff. So I knew exactly what I wanted. Didn't need to build it. This is it. So that's arrived. The joyous thing about the way I work now, and probably you guys work the same, is that pretty much all of my files are in the cloud. Everything's there, and it's only software that you download. And there are, but I did get caught in on a couple of things. Some little bits and pieces of drivers. I haven't lost anything, but some little bits and pieces of software that I had to go and hook up. I had ported all the OBS files, which we run the show with, and the Bongo Racing stuff. Ported those all up, got those all set it, and I realized when I fired this up tonight, I hadn't done all the frames, nice stuff for us, and I hadn't done a test run, and audio settings hadn't ported over. Because it's a new PC, new mics, new all that sort of thing, blah, blah, blah. But we're up now. I am in beautiful... This has got my FacePalm Pro. This new PC has... what do you call them? The USB-C connections and enough power to run the camera, which I spent so much money on and couldn't use. So that's what we're on tonight. Not in the right angle, but yeah, so it's up and running. I've had issues on the stream with this the last couple of days, just audio cracking up. So after the show tonight, I think I have that sorted today. I'm gonna run a little test stream and see how that goes.
Well, you sound fantastic right now, so there's that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But when I switch up the other PC, there's an awful lot more going on. So it's
yeah.
What else? What else did I write down there? Yeah, Man Flew the Black Death. That's me, and I put in brackets foreshadowing. We might find that out in a minute. So, yes, we found that out. We found it out, and the PC held us up a bit. But we're there. We're there.
We made it.
We're here. We're
so
good.
It's good. So
streaming.
fantastic. So yeah. So it's Halloween. The kids are now off for a week. God help us. There's a bank holiday in the south of Ireland tomorrow in Mexico.
Okay.
And I'll support them all the way. So I'm taking a quiet day
Good,
tomorrow. Then I'm traveling on Tuesday. Back on Wednesday evening.
By the way, Boomer says you sound horrible.
I know. I know. Thank you. Cheers, Boomer. And no bill yet from the rental car company from Germany after my tow. So I keep on checking that mail. Yeah, and it's been a big week, and we'll get to that in the gaming part of it as far as the racing stuff's concerned. A massive week. So we'll get to that in a wee little while. But okay, I phoned you the other night.
You did?
Just Judith and I were sitting on the couch, and we said,
call,
like, you know, Greg, you don't talk to him anymore. She said, "Do I'll phone him. I'll speak to him all the time. I'll phone him now."
Yeah, no. So you called, you rang. I was actually in the middle of playing Halo with Rob. We just were hanging out. It says, Fridays were supposed to be a PUBG night, and Mark had texted me earlier in the day saying, "Hey, are you going to make it for Friday?"
Hey,
I
lifted a spanner. I'm tired.
Yeah, no. I said I can carve out some time Friday. Let's do this. So I show up, normal time. Say, "Hey, Mark, when are you going to be on?" Things have changed. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So Rob gets on, we start chit-chatting, talking away, and we ended up punting on PUBG, and we just played some Halo. Had a fantastic time. Enjoyed our time. And Lewis actually joined up like halfway through.
Very
So
good.
we had an almost full team. It was a good time. I got us into ranked matches. This is I'm getting into gameplay, but I'll just talk about it now.
Arranged marriages? What's this?
Arranged marriages, yes. We
Okay.
got into arranged marriages during our
Oh,
time
boy.
on Halo, also known as ranked matches. And
You can see how I got that mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
it didn't go very well for me. Let's just say, well, it depends on how you look at it. Because my rank is going to be shit. And that's okay. Because that will mean I get to play against other shit players, which then I'll look better. As opposed to if we were on Rob's ranking. Rob also re-ranked while we were playing. And I came in at silver. He came in at platinum.
Oh,
Just going to throw that out there. There's a lot of levels in between that.
wow.
Yeah.
Super.
Anyway, but yeah. So all right. So what's been going on this end for me? I assume Robin. By the way, I'm assuming you were done.
Oh yeah, I watched one movie. The movie when we were having that Judith and I,
Yep.
we watched the latest Mission Impossible. When my kids went to the cinema, didn't ask me to come along. Maybe it's because I snore in the cinema. I don't know. So we watched the latest Mission Impossible, and it's turned into 1970s Bond now. It's a bit comical, a bit funny, a bit irreverent to itself. But it's a good fun movie.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Was it good fun at the end of the
Good fun
day?
movie. Of course, Judith went there and says, "What? What? There's another part? What? You'll be like 70 when he's finished."
I think the thing that you have to admire about the Mission Impossible movies is Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Because he does all his own stunts, and that's.
he has fun.
I
with
mean, once I knew, on I think it was the previous film, he was doing a leap between buildings, and obviously it's all set up to where he can't fall, but he
Hopefully.
literally broke his leg,
his ankle,
but
yeah,
finished
yeah.
the scene.
Yeah, that's class. Yeah, no, that motorbike thing, fair enough. And he didn't do. I watched the documentary thing about the making of it, and he didn't just do that once. He did it about 8 times with 8 bikes wrecked, and just because he wanted to get a better shot or hold on to
Right.
the bike a little bit longer, and just superb. Now I'm sure there was some CGI and bits and pieces on top of the train and bits and pieces like that, but some of those big physical stunts, really, really good. Yeah, so it's a good romp of a movie. It's lovely to see some of the characters. I like the daughter of the woman in the first movie, the arms dealer, the blonde one that's always seems to be in a massive nightclub that everybody dances
Right.
really well and does nothing else. I like that
Which
character.
I've yet to see these nightclubs ever.
Yeah. I'm very sad about one thing that happened because I kind of hoped that would have been something that, but that person, but there's a new person, I don't want to give spoilers away. It is Mission Impossible. I loved the cameo from Mark Wright was really good. I liked it too. It was brilliant. So.
Just to completely spoil the movie further, there's
Sorry,
cameos of these
cameos
people
of
that we didn't know
Mark
about.
Wright. Yeah, no. So yeah, it's good. It's well worth watching. And that's about it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so Halloween.
Yes,
It's
Mhm.
I've seen the
almost
photographs.
here.
My God,
We finished all the decorations on the front yard. So I sent pictures to the chat.
wonder if I can
sorry,
show
to
some
the
photographs.
not
Oh,
the
so
chat,
we
the
can get
WhatsApp.
that. me
Just
see.
because I wanted to share. We just really have a good time with Halloween. So the front yard is all done. There are numerous skeletons. There are tiki torches with skulls on them.
Okay, here we go.
We have a literally like a cauldron that has floating flasks pouring.
It's crazy. You are
Juice.
the eccentric people down the lane. That's like
Yeah,
what's that Tom Hanks movie?
there's these little
you're
black trees
the
you see on the
burbs.
screen
You're the
right now.
burbs.
Little black trees that are coming up from the grass. Those are all were handmade from using pool noodles. If you don't know what a pool noodle is, well, look it up. They're
Google it.
basically just giant styrofoam noodles.
My goodness.
Uh,
Look at all these.
so-
I mean, Judith. The first thing that Judith said to me was, "Where the hell do they store all this?"
in my garage. It's this really sad thing. The entire left wall of our garage is nothing but bins of Halloween stuff.
So, tell me about
The-
this culturally appropriated photograph here. Are these African people, chaps here, like with the
No, they're
grass?
voodoo skeletons.
the grass here? Is this? Yeah.
Voodoo skeletons.
Now, are you sure you've got the sexuality of the skeletons correct? With the size of the
straight up
pelvis?
all men. There's no women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this.
But yeah.
And what is
we
this?
had a lot of fun.
What is this skeleton protecting here? Oh, it's holding roses. Black roses.
Oh yeah, black roses. Yeah, old man. That's the old man skeleton. He's gonna die after this year. We're gonna send him to the bin.
He's not exciting enough.
So there'll be one less thing we have to store in our closet.
How do they do that one that people are sort of floating in the sky, hanging? Can you get one hanging from the sky invisibly?
We've done that in the past
wow.
using fishing wire.
Look at that
I don't think we have
creepy
anything
elf in the
floating
middle.
this year.
This creepy Zelda person in the middle here.
Oh yeah, little ghost woman in the graveyard. Yeah.
This is
so.
Seriously, you must. I asked you the question: are you the weird ones in the street?
We are.
You know, or do
But
other
kids
people?
love
Does
us.
everybody do this? And yeah, they come along and see this. You should have a wee.
And so the funny thing is,
wee tip
here's the
tray
thing.
out.
So we get a lot of kids coming through.
Yes.
But also we give out basically cinnamon schnapps shots to adults.
Okay.
So we buy these little bottles. They're one-shot bottles.
Give them the kids.
We have them on ice. And so when the adults come up, we would say, "Would you like an adult trick or treat?" And then we show them a bowl. Yeah, and they get to take.
That could be taken completely the wrong
I know.
way.
Trust
Especially
me.
how you're dressed.
We've got some looks before. But yeah, so we just have a really good time with Halloween. And it'll be no different. And you actually share the picture of us dressed up because last night we went to a little concert at the Roseville Opera House, and Cindy and I dressed up for it. And this is a preview of what our outfits, for the most part, will look like come Halloween night. And so we also are dressed up in voodoo attire. And
it's coming.
So my fingers are painted. My fingernails are painted black right now, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun.
Oh my
and
goodness.
And last night was a great time, just getting out.
I can
just having
imagine the
some
fun
crazy
you
adult thing.
had when you got home.
So the best part about this, so this concert, it was a local band called Bad Jovi, and they do cover of Bon Jovi and
Okay.
Bad Company.
Okay.
Good group, but Halloween night, or the weekend of Halloween, they will always do these, come dressed in costumes, and they will do a costume contest, and they have like sexiest costume and scariest costume. But the funny thing about this, and I say funny, it is both a good bad thing, is that a lot of women take this as the opportunity to say, I'm just going to pull the lingerie out of my closet and throw that on and go to Halloween bash.
Goodness, that sounds terrible.
And let me tell you, Robin, sometimes it's like, holy crap, don't let me stare at her too long. Don't let me stare at her too long.
Yeah, but
where
it's like the XXXXXL in a thong. That's
there's some people that no, they don't. Yeah, please don't wear that ever again.
Right.
And so it was that mixed bag. And the funny thing is, Cindy absolutely has no problem calling that out either.
I can't imagine that at all.
But yeah, so good times had last night. And that, of course, is all set up now. We're officially done decorating, so we're good to go for Tuesday when Halloween kicks off.
Oh, very good. One thing I would say about that, also that telephone call, that it was a perfect telephone call, by the way. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
The perfect telephone call.
Yeah, perfect telephone call.
Did you see how I sowed the seed?
Yes, I did. That was
Did you
brilliantly
like that?
done.
Did you like
And we have planted the seed for next year.
We did that.
Potential Vegas
before?
trip.
Yes.
Had to plant the seed. Yeah, so we'll be celebrating my 55th. That's
It's
double
2
digits.
5s.
It's an important birthday.
It's 2 of them, not just one of them. It's 2 of them, and me as well. I mean, I'll be there. I mean, that'll be like
so the
that'll be
return
like
of the Vegas trip
quadruple
is
fives
on the horizon.
We got off the call. This is fucking not going there again. You just after paying off that last one. Anyway.
Well, the good news, bad news, right?
Yeah.
We kind of know what we liked out of that, and likely we'll do some more of some of that, but
Let's
we
do
also know what we
taxi driver.
wouldn't necessarily do. Also, there were some things we didn't do that we might have liked. Mostly all that was hinted at in our cab ride. And so, there's missed opportunities that happen in Vegas. I'm just saying. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Extra Life.
Yeah.
Victory achieved for me.
Oh,
I'm
good
just
lad.
saying.
Good lad.
So hit my goal, but of course the goal is just it's that initial number to get the medal, but I always want to try and go past that. So that's currently working towards maximizing that out. Extra Life is next weekend.
Yep.
I am.
Well,
I'm actually concerned this year. Am I gonna make it through 24 hours?
Well,
You and me both.
I've dropped some money in your pot, and I'll get to Kim as well. So
Yeah.
I know Gary is keen to do some racing over the weekend. For the podcast, I think we're going to do something a little bit different next week. I think that I have an idea that I will start up, do some recording, and hopefully we can work out to get Kim chatting and yourself chatting and maybe some of the others, and do a wee chat about how,
totally
within the first sort of few hours of you guys starting, which will be all fresh and rosy and daisy.
Right.
And then I'll go to bed and I'll wake up and you'll still have hours to go, and we'll do it again as I'll wrap up, and then let you do your last couple of hours. We'll stitch that. I'll stitch that all together while you are playing games, and we'll get that up and published as a wee special. So
I think that would be perfect.
Sounds good.
yeah, and through the week we'll maybe have a wee look at the team and see if I can maybe go around the houses. So that might be a wee nice thing to do for that, just to be a wee bit different.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Last thing to really talk about, online grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is it's not really a new thing per se. It's been
Right.
around for a few years,
Who
but it's
is
never
this
really
Percy
taken off
guy?
in the US.
It's massive over here. My brother-in-law
So-
drives for a Sainsbury's over here. Tesco's he drives for, and he delivers all over the place.
Yeah, it never has quite taken off in the US.
But I wish it
think
would.
COVID, it kind of took off a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
But so the funny thing is, like they'll usually charge a fee, or they say some were charging a fee for if you didn't make X amount of dollars on your order. My local Safeway, and granted, they're not delivering, but you can go and pick up your grocery order from them. They do
Right.
all the shopping for you.
Yeah, they do that too here.
You just
Yeah.
show up.
Pick up.
5 minutes, they come out, they load it into your trunk. They are not allowed to take tips, which I always feel bad because I want to tip them at
Right.
least something.
Mm.
But yeah, so I've become kind of a huge fan of
Okay.
online
Well,
grocery shopping.
when Judith,
Wait. You were giving me crap about this here months ago when I started doing it. And
I know.
well,
Kim,
when Judith,
I'm a walking double standard. Did
Well,
you not understand
obviously.
this? Yeah.
Apparently not.
so Judith pays Tesco's some sort of membership fee, a bit like Amazon every year.
Right.
So she gets her deliveries for free. But the delivery charge is usually between £2 and £5, so it's a very nominal fee anyway.
Right.
So there's two ways
Right.
you can do it. You go online, you make your order up, you can save it and it's like you can do a repeat of the same thing. So you can go and they have all of the major chains have like a click and collect. So you've but it's like a little outside bit with one of their vans, and your order is in there, and you just go to there. You don't even go near the shop. You just go and they load it into your car, and away you go.
Okay.
Or you can do the full delivery service, which the guy brings the boxes and sets them in your kitchen, helps you get them up onto your counter, and comes away. And we don't tip ever. That's not a thing. But every major, like Tesco, Sainsbury's, all of the major ones, they all have a very big van delivery stuff. So it's very handy when we're busy. When we are busy.
Yeah, it's I mean it's very handy. Period. Although I think I gave Kim a hard time about it before because one of the things I liked about shopping was it was just a wait time.
Mhm.
I would
that
go
too, yeah.
do the grocery shopping and just listen to a podcast as I cruised around the aisle and forgot 5 things.
Right.
But here, we just pull up to a parking spot.
Yep.
You dial a number, or on your app, if you have an app for them, you basically say, "I'm here. I'm in parking spot 3."
Can't believe
Yep.
we're ahead
And
of
they
this
come
with
out.
something. We're ahead of you. We're ahead of you with something.
I know,
I
right?
think so. I think
Imagine
so.
that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for people, I mean, so my brother-in-law who drives for Tesco's, he covers this area, but he'll cover about 40 miles north of here, way up in, you know, those little coastal towns. Remember we talked to the old ladies and seen the sea lions or whatever they were, seals. Well, he will go to that little town with a grocery because they don't. That's Ballymena would be their closest one. So, and the delivery is still £2 to £5. So those people that are out in the outskirts, it makes a big sense for them. So like Kim, of course, I mean, you're out in the sticks, wouldn't it be great?
Right.
I know.
I know, right?
But when you're all into, so over here now, Uber are also delivering, so you can do Uber groceries.
Right.
So
you can do that too here.
Yeah.
And DoorDash, I think, is also doing it. But that's one I absolutely won't do just because they expect a tip for sure.
Yeah.
And half the time, I don't trust Uber drivers to make my grocery order correct.
Oh, well.
Anyway, or I should say to validate that it's correct. And that's the other thing. You get a lot of substitutions.
Yeah.
That's the one downside to it. But at least with this, prior to picking it up, it says, hey, we made these potential substitutions.
Yes.
Approve or deny.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you basically say yes or no to whatever they try to swap in for you.
Well, again,
usually it's okay.
Some of my nieces over the summer, not the summer, last summer, they were doing pickers, but the pickers run 24 hours a day. They're that busy. So through the middle of the night, and if you go in there through the day, you'll see staff with trolleys fulfilling these orders. It's a big thing. Very good. Welcome to the new generation of technology,
Right?
The internet and all.
One of these days, we'll figure out the whole internet thing, and then we'll really be good.
Right.
Getting speed across the U.S. Infrastructure. That's the challenge with the U.S. infrastructure in general, because a lot of the city areas have it, but where Kim lives.
Yeah. Because we just got fiber 5 years ago or something.
Right.
So I mean, right before we moved in here. So.
Oh, and another irony, if you will. So the city I live in. So I just learned the stat. This kind of blew me away. In 2000, the city of Lincoln was, I think, 8,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
We're now over 52,000.
Holy moly!
You
We
horny
have grown
bastards.
a lot.
Here in my little town of 1,500 people.
Yeah. So within that time frame, they've rolled out fiber to a lot of the areas. However, some of the pre-built infrastructure, where I live, because they're not doing any new construction around here, they're very slow and not really wanting to roll fiber into where we live. We have the pre-existing cabling, which still allows me to get a 1 terabyte plan, but it's not. They're not rolling fiber in here. It's not that hasn't happened yet. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I did.
It's okay. My biggest problem with it is I can get the terabyte, but compared to what somebody like Mark is paying, I'm paying 3 or 4 times that. So for me, I can't financially justify having something like that. So
I'm 60 quid a month. Well, it's $85 lying there, which is I could probably do a bit less, but no.
Right.
At that money.
One of these days, I'm going to go through all the stupid crap that I have signed up for in terms of all the different apps and services. I don't really care about it so much right now, but I probably could save a good $250 a month if I just really thought about paring down.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll never happen.
Same here.
I'll talk about it.
I did knock down my Netflix though after Netflix decided it was going to raise prices again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm debating that one too.
Right.
Again, I'm the customer they love.
Yeah.
He signed up and he just forgets.
Signed up and forgets, and he cancels it, and then 3 months later it goes back again.
Yep. Yep. All right, let's talk about some video games.
Alrighty.
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser. Peapod. That's all I wanted to say. Anyway. All right. What have we been playing? I'm not going to talk about the games that we can pay to play and get all that good stuff because it's the end of the
Okay.
month. Who cares?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We don't know what November is yet, so there's that too.
Okay.
Right.
But we do know, Kim Woods, you
Mm.
have been a party animal.
Yes, I have been. The games I've been playing this week. Of course, Tony was down Monday, and honestly, for some strange reason, Party Animals has become his go-to thing. Even more so than Modern Warfare 2, which strikes me as strange, but yeah, I'll go with it because I like Party Animals. So yeah, Monday we played a whole of a lot of Party Animals, and we won quite a few matches. Even some of those ones we're not very good at. We actually, won a few, so we're pretty tickled with that.
It
We'll probably
looks
play
fun.
some more on Extra Life. So download it, and we'll have a big old Party Animals party,
You need a commentator.
right? Well, you could probably get Tony to do that if you ask. So
Yes, that'll be
it's
cool.
funny. It's funny listening to him to get irritated because sometimes he'll get a little aggravated at something, and it's funny because he's 10. So, of course, he probably got it from me, but then what are you gonna do? But I mean, other than that, this afternoon I fired up Modern Warfare 2 and played some multiplayer with Boomer because they're still having the haunting thing where you collect the souls and you get the stuff. Plus, they're doing a week-long login thing where they give you free stuff for logging in every day. So I've been doing that for me and Tony both, so that way he doesn't miss anything. And they have Bruce Campbell. Ash Williams is one of the skins, so I had to buy that because everybody loves Bruce. So, and it's fun because I don't know if it's actually him that is voicing it or they got somebody that sounds like him doing it, but it sounds just like him, so it's funny. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I played this week, other than Solitaire. I've been playing a boatload of Microsoft Solitaire Spider Cell, and I'm like, I don't know, what am I up to? Like level 70 something, 74, 73, something like that. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's it
All
for
right.
me. So
Okay.
yeah,
Easy enough.
yeah.
Before we get into what I've been playing, Robin, I just posted a picture into WhatsApp on our
I'm
show
just
notes.
looking here. I'm just
I
looking.
just
Uh-oh.
I saw this ad pop up on ESPN. And I'm
Oh,
just
God.
trying to figure out what the hell
What
this
the
is. 'cause
hell
it
is
looks like
that?
it's like almost like a cock cage, and then I don't know what the blue thing is, and then there's this
Yeah.
mask,
I'm bringing
and
them
in
up
the
here.
middle of it is a camper.
Okay, so this is a price drop on a clothy mask. Okay.
Well, leave it to Timu because that's
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
and this is
the Temu site. But the metal cage thing,
No,
it's
no, it's
gotta be
a
a strainer.
it's a tea strainer, I think.
That's what I'm thinking. But it just looks like
tea
a
bag
cup,
strainer.
like a male cup, like a cock cage Pete would wear.
Yeah.
Right.
And this thing it looks like a cock. I don't think it is. I think it's something like a pencil sharpener or something like that, or some vegetable cutter. Because that looks like a handle, and there's cogs inside it.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
But I mean, it's something that would end up in the emergency room at some stage or another. Can you get this out, please?
I do think so. And it all
Yep.
started in the camper van.
So,
Right.
I
But
bought
there's
a
a story to be had here.
Yeah,
Right?
so I got this. No, what came first? The camper van? Yeah, I got the camper van, darling. You go and get the
I
rest of the
just wanna
stuff we
go back
need.
to that full facial mask thing.
It
Yeah,
looks like something you read for paintball fights or something.
yeah.
That or in an SM session. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's a little devious looking.
Wow.
Oh,
Protective
She looks
eyewear.
surprised. She
Chad
does look
is saying
surprised.
that the blue thing is a bike chain cleaner.
A
A
bike,
bike
chain
chain
cleaner.
That's
Oh,
what Hardly Dan and Boomer
of
say.
course.
So-
You put the chain
like-
in the middle in the coconut, and we handle the far side. Okay, very good.
All right. Do we know what the metal cock cage is for?
It's for tea. It's a tea strainer.
Okay.
It has to be a tea
Tea
strainer.
strainer. Okay. All right. Well, that fun with Temu. That's our new
Okay.
thing.
So what is
We'll just,
Timu? Is Timu
we'll s-
another Chinese shopping thing? Is it?
Absolutely. Be careful shopping Temu. Pretty sure my wife had her account hacked because she loved shopping Temu. Anyway, okay. So games.
Starfield.
Robin,
Oh, okay. Me.
we'll save the best for last, which is you.
Okay.
And you like that, huh?
All right.
Give me a little props. I've been playing more Starfield. I don't need to talk about that too much. I think we've all enjoyed plenty of Starfield conversations.
Oh, indeed.
I will say though, the game continues to just deliver for me. I like I still am not doing main missions. I've been doing faction missions, which I think the faction missions, if you're going to do anything side questy, if you will, in quotes, it's the faction missions. Those are the ones that are really well fleshed out. I think the actual side quest missions are more fetch questy, and they don't necessarily feel terribly deep, but the faction missions are really they're quite good. And so far, I've just been enjoying that. But Liza P, I want to talk about this game. So I am not a big Souls like person.
Right.
I struggle with Souls games. I think part of what I struggle with Souls games is the fear of dying
Right.
in a bad spot. Because when you die in a bad spot, it fucking sucks. Because you've got to go back, you got to find your body. And I have, unfortunately, in Elden Ring, I died in a location that had zero visibility. So you had to basically have a torch to get in to find your way to even see. And of course, it was crawling with monsters, and my body's in there. So it was just a mess. And my whole plan with getting my stuff back is usually find my body and just run, because obviously whatever was in there that killed me, I couldn't defeat it. Liza P's is a Souls-like game. And that had me really nervous. And I played the demo, and I liked the demo back when it came out, but I wasn't really sold on it. I have since said that, you know what, I've heard a lot of positive things about Liza P. I'm going to give it a shot. First and foremost, this game is gorgeous. It absolutely is a beautiful game. Just visually, the art style.
Okay.
This notion.
What did he do with the sword when he climbed up the ladder?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. It magically disappears, Robin. This is how these things
It
work.
looks like he's
You don't understand this?
overcompensating.
And that is a giant
Right.
sword.
That is a big sword.
I don't go with that. I like the balanced sword, so that's kind of my deal. It's not a giant sword like that. But it's a fictional world of Pinocchio.
Oh, the
Right.
monsters are brilliant.
But like a steampunk
yeah, Bioshock.
dark Pinocchio. And you're playing Pinocchio. It's just very well done. I got through to the point of the demo where I could not pass before, and I finally beat the boss character there, and I was like, okay, I'm off and running. I'm excited about this game. And then quickly I remembered why I struggle with Souls games. There's no map.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need to get graph paper out and make your own map.
That's, I think, what you have to do. But like I saw, I have to make it into this hotel. I'm like, okay, I can see the hotel. So I have a visual marker, and I start making my way to it and battling enemies as I'm going along, and everything's fine. I did die at one point, and it does the Souls thing where it'll restart you at your last starting point unless you make it to a save point. I forgot what they call them in this, but it's like the campfire.
Yeah.
You
Right.
find them, you can rest up, but if you rest at the campfire or the respawn point, it'll actually respawn all of the enemies that you've already defeated. So backtracking becomes difficult. And then I made it to the circus area, which is where this next boss was. It did not go well. I got into the boss, area, got my ass handed to me within like 3 hits. Like, okay, clearly didn't do well. Didn't even think about that right. The one nice thing is it actually puts your dead body and your essence, if you will, outside of the boss area. So
That's handy.
Yeah, so you don't have to go back in and get your ass handed to you again before you get your stuff back, which was nice. So I did that, went back into the boss area, and quickly died again. I did that, reset,
Excuse me.
went back in, got killed. I said, okay, I'm going to go just double check. I can go to there's a little vendor guy right near the front of this. I'm like, see if there's something I could buy that'll help me with this. upgraded a few things, went back in. Apparently, I just suck at Souls games because I died again.
Enjoy the graphics. Enjoy the graphics.
That's it.
Okay.
It's
Question.
fluid, it plays well.
You're
And the
Pinocchio.
worst part is, it's not, sometimes you play a game and you're like, I feel like this game is cheating me, right?
Right,
It's just,
right.
it's being punishing for. This doesn't feel like that. It feels like you kind of tell when you make a mistake. The problem with Souls games is when you make a mistake, typically means you're dead
die.
within like
Right,
3
dead
hits.
straight away. Okay.
Right.
But I am very like I want to stick with this for a little while. I think, even with the frustration, because I've heard some things about the end story of this game,
Right.
and ultimately, if I just give up on this, I may do the YouTube thing. I don't know.
There you go.
But I've heard the end of this game is pretty amazing, and it's an end credit that you have to watch. And you don't have to beat it on some particular difficulty because there's no difficulty level on this. It's just all one difficulty. But you
Right.
watch the end credits, and then there's another little scenario that pops up. And to me, that's
Wow.
like, okay, this is pretty awesome.
That's
So
cool.
I would say this: if you've played a Souls game before and you liked it,
You like this?
I absolutely would recommend Liza P.
Oh.
If you are curious, it's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, check it out. You
Yep.
cannot be hurt by it.
If you're P curious.
But it's quite good.
It's
Just
okay. So
visually,
one question.
story.
You're
everything.
Pinocchio. If you tell lies, okay, does his nose get bigger?
So I don't know if within this game that mechanic comes into play.
Okay.
But they hint at it in with the loading screen. I
Yeah,
think it's,
lie or
you
die.
actually see his nose growing longer.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the loading bar. I'm sure at some point that mechanic, the notion of his nose getting longer will come to play. I just don't know when. Like I said, this is a variation of Pinocchio.
Yeah.
It's really focusing on the fact that you're a puppet come to life.
I know, but this is
a
the
mechanical puppet
end for
comes to
Walt
life.
Disney now. I mean, really? I mean, is that me? It's gone the whole completely woke now. Is that me?
There's nothing woke about this. You're a puppet.
I'm a real boy. Very good. Very good. Excellent stuff.
All right. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for me. Liza P. Check it out if you get a chance.
Very good. Very good indeed.
Yeah. All right, Robin.
All right. So
What's been going on in the land of fake racing?
this was a big week for me because on Thursday nights we would have had our community races, and for the last while I've been working with the admin team about starting a championship proper with points and classes, and I came up with the Warriors series, and the whole thing about a lot of racing communities is that the cream of the crop get the rewards, and the guys that are just starting or are in the middle are just also runs. They dream of being really, really fast. So the idea behind the Warriors was that we would split them up into 3 different classes, like some motorsports do, like a gold, silver, and bronze class. So the top guys get points for the fastest lap, for winning, and then the point guys in the middle, we group the people in the middle. They'll get their fastest qualifying lap in their group, and they'll get points in their group. And the bronze, the same idea, and everybody has a chance of winning a championship. So there will be 3 one overall championship, but 3 competitions within it, 3 sets of fastest laps. So it's like a race within a race within a race. So the grid for Thursday night's race was the biggest we've ever had. We were almost at server capacity, and it was really, really good. The reaction has been fantastic, and we've ended up with a nice sponsor, Wheelnut Designs. So the overall championship they'll get a car skin livery completely designed by this really fantastic French company that do this sort of stuff, and it's probably about $100 worth of designing. There'll be Bongo Racing t-shirts, mugs, stickers, there'll be posters, there'll be all piles of stuff for all of the different classes. So it's taken it to a whole different level now. And there was a fear that some of the new people would be frightened, but we got the concept idea of this championship over to them, and everybody's now really looking forward to the next race. And that championship is kind of cool. It's funny, one of the guys joined the server who'd never raced with us before. Funny story. And out of my trip to Germany, I got some new subscribers and people to come along. But one of these guys, I said, "Oh, Koss. Who are you, Koss?" He says, "Oh, we met at Germany. You came up to me and said I look like an old fella and give me a business card." Which is absolutely true. So I was on this company called Ace-A-Tech, and on their stand, and there's this older gentleman, tweed jacket, and he was watching this other fella, a relation, a son, a nephew or something in a way, but he was Indian in a big way. And I went up to him and said, like, "Hey, do you sim race as well?" I says, yeah, I love sim racing. I says, "Well, here's my card. I have this fantastic community. It's mostly older fellas, and you look like an older fella. No offense." And fair enough, he came on and he raced with us.
Basically using ageism, you're
Yep.
just going out and targeting old people visually.
Ageism. So we did that. That was good. We did some racing last night. We done a threesome, three-way, whatever. And we had a good old turnout. It was a bit of a laugh last night. It was. So what's happened is that there's now that bit of extra pressure with a proper championship, and then the weekendy stuff is more fun. The LFM stuff that I've been involved with just has becoming less and less important to me, because this is growing dramatically.
Interesting.
So I'll keep my hand in there, do some longer races and stuff like that there, but it's not this here. The quality, the crack has been superb. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. So it's growing on. It was awesome. Great classes, tournament, yeah. And this week we're in Paul Ricard. So what we're doing, we're mixing up some of the races. So this was a dry race. This one, Paul Ricard will be early evening, sun going down, and it'll go in, and the race will finish in the dark. So again, the whole idea from Bongo Racing is that it's not just about the racing, it's about the education, the teaching, the racecraft, the skills. So I'm pushing the guys that they don't usually race in the daytime, so that's another skill. There was one of so it's a 6-week season, and then we'll rotate again. So some of the races are damp and wet, which is something that people don't usually do. So it's all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's brilliant. It's going excellent. It's going well. It's going very well.
All right.
Oh,
good. Well, I suppose there's nothing else to say on that other than let's talk about some news.
Yes.
Here is the fucking news.
All right, some nice little pieces of news in here. Microsoft has reorganized its Xbox and marketing teams to prepare for an AI gaming future. The Microsoft is reorganizing its gaming and marketing leadership less than 2 weeks after acquiring Activision Blizzard. Did they acquire Activision Blizzard? It is done. Should they have been allowed to do that? Microsoft is promoting Matt Booty to President of Game Content Studios. Love his name. Including the new responsibility of ZeniMax, and Sarah Bond to the Xbox President, overseeing all Xbox platform and hardware work. On the marketing side, Chief Marketing Officer Chris Capocella is stepping down after 32 years at Microsoft. Is Bobby Kotick still in there? But I almost expected Larry Herb to have some sort of role.
Bobby will be out after the first of the year. So he has said he will be on until the end of 2023.
Okay.
And at that point, he is out.
Yeah, it's his contract, like my boss. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I mean, things move on. You know, those guys have been 32 years with any company is a long time. Microsoft says Starfield release game was the pass's biggest ever new subs day. The news shared during Microsoft's latest earnings call for the quarter one period covering July to September, which covers the release of the much anticipated RPG. We released Starfield this quarter to broad acclaim, CEO Satya Nadella said during the call. More than 11 More than 11 million people. Sorry, there, Mr. Biden. I did with you. People have played the game to date. Nearly half of hours played have been on PC. And on launch day, we set a record half on PC. Wow. We set a record for the most Game Pass subscriptions added on a single day ever. According to Microsoft, Starfield was the primary responsible for growth in Xbox Game Pass and first-party content, which saw its revenue grow by 9%. 9%, that's big numbers.
Yeah.
Microsoft gaming business enjoyed a record July to September quarter in terms of revenue generated, partly driven by the release of Starfield. The Xbox parent said it had generated over $3.9 billion from gaming, which is its highest ever Q1 for the brand and a record for a non-holiday quarter. Microsoft said from Xbox content and services, which far is by the division's biggest money generator, was up 13% year over year, driven by growth in Xbox Game Pass. Amazing. I wonder what does Sony do?
Well, they apologize.
Oh, okay. Insomniac apologizes as it patches out Spider-Man 2's Cuban flag mistake. Okay, fair enough. In the new Spider-Man movie and in the house of our wonderful friend Miles, there's a flag on the wall, and it's he is from Puerto Rico, but they have a Cuban flag up. Easy mistake to make.
Sure.
And they got pulled on.
I mean, because the colors are all the same.
Well,
the
it's
two
red.
flags literally share the same colors. They're just differently placed. So Puerto Rican flag has a blue triangle and red stripes. The Cuban flag has a red triangle and blue stripes. So yeah,
there you go.
They put the wrong flag up.
Boof, rightly so, is saying in the chat he hasn't purchased a new Xbox game since subscribing to Game Pass. Thinking of the last game he purchased, I realized it was a backwards compatible game for the 360 that wasn't on Game Pass. You're right, Boof, and I mean, unless you want to be at the cutting edge of stuff that's been released, and even that, I mean, Forza, you can play it and a lot of other stuff there as well. You don't need to. I mean, really, unless you're keeping right to cutting edge, there's just so much there. It is such good value. Anyway, Cuba. I think the stripes. The colours are different, however, with a Cuban flag having a red triangle, blue stripes, the Puerto Rican flag having blue triangle and red stripes.
It's like there's an echo.
Did you say that? Okay, sorry. The PS5 user interface has started showing which PS5 games can be streamed with PS Plus Platinum. As spotted, that's not the basic Platinum, it's Platinum Plus for the players. As spotted by PushSquare, the new logo has appeared on the home screen underneath games that can be streamed. It doesn't list any of the games. It'll choose between 720, 1080, 1440 and 4K stream quality. Wow, 4K. And this is notable as Xbox game streaming, the most direct console, doesn't offer a 4K option. Neither the PlayStation.
It'll be interesting to see how this actually handles the 4K streaming.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is... Sony, who hasn't really invested all that much of more recent times in the stream side of things, have suddenly just kind of popped up and been like, oh, hey, no, we're good to go. We got it. And we can do up to 4K depending upon the game. So
it'll be interesting.
I think that's a great option.
Connie Booth, she's left Sony. Former employee David Jaffe, who reported created the God of War and Twisted Metal series, tweeted on Sunday that there was some sad, frustrating, potentially super disrespectful news on the way that would mean the Sony we all came up with is mostly dead. Wow, not all happy in there.
I mean, I think David Jaffe was being hyperbolic, but Connie Booth absolutely had a fingerprint on a lot of Sony titles. Yeah. She was a producer on, the list is here: Spyro the Dragon, Siphon Filter, Ratchet and Clank, SOCOM, Uncharted, Jak and Daxter, Infamous, Resistance, Sly Cooper, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima. So she was a big player in producing some of their biggest games.
Well, you read into that tweet that she went out kicking and screaming, "Fuck you! Fuck off! I'm out of here!" Double mic.
Well, that is a little bit of the scuttlebutt, is that it's that she was let go as opposed to she left on her own accord.
Okay.
And that might be Sony cutting costs and deciding, what, we don't need this oversight group anymore. We can just let the individual studios just handle it.
Yeah.
But this is what David Jaffe was kind of, I think, alluding
Huh.
to, is that the old Sony had kind of this kind of umbrella team, if you will, that would come in and they could really help games polish and get over the finish line.
Things change.
And that's a lot of what she did.
Things change.
They do.
Also in Sony news, the PS5's optional disk drive requires an internet connection to connect. Class.
Yeah, so this isn't that big of a deal.
Not really
if you
anymore.
ask me.
Right.
Not really.
But I think the only thing about this that is a big deal is that Sony with the PS5 and the SSD drives, you could use third-party non-Sony SSD drives in the PS5 and it worked fine. It just had to have certain
Right.
requirements
Mhm.
to specs to meet. This disk drive, they clearly are saying no, it has to be a Sony licensed disk drive. So no more off-the-shelf disk drives, or you can't just get a random disk drive to be able to hook up to your PS5. It's going to have to be something that Sony has a thumbprint on. So it's a licensing play. That's the only reason for this. They're going to do this online check and make sure it has got the stamp of approval from Sony, as in they've made money on the sale of this disk drive at some point or another. So again, not that big of a deal, but this is also a little foreshadowing of Sony is going to, I think, the days of Sony being like, hey, you can use whatever components you want are pretty much gone.
Right.
There you go. And finally, Xbox. There was an Xbox partner showcase. I caught bits and pieces of this. Did you watch through this? There's nothing really new here, is there? So repeats of stuff we've seen before.
Games in here that are kind of exciting. So we'll read through the list real fast, Robin. Go for it.
There was Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, first in-engine look, Alan Wake 2 gameplay. It looks very tortured. Or torchy. Ark Survivals Ascended, first gameplay footage revealed. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth gameplay show off. Still Wakes the Deep, first person horror game. Manor Lords, a PC game release date April 26, 2024. Akaro Will Not Die, an announcement trailer. Spirit of the North 2, animal adventure game. Robocop Rogue City, which looks brilliant, first person shooter. Dungeons of Hinterberg adventure game with unique art style. And the finals, free to play game in the Game Arena. I'm going to try and find the RoboCop stuff in the video.
Yeah, so I thought Metal Gear Solid looked really good. I that's the remake. They're bringing that out. I think that looks fantastic. Alan Wake 2 also looks really good, and it's getting great reviews. So I'm half tempted to pick
Metal
that
Gear
up.
Solid. There it is.
Ark Survivor Ascended just looked like an Ark game to me, and that really put me off. I think they're trying to improve and polish this game, and some people are like, "Oh, it looks great," and I'm just like, "It still looks like an Ark game," and I never got on with Ark. So, Kim, did you see any of this?
No, I didn't. I guess I'll have to go back and look. Felt like
and this came out of blue. This was like we announced it on I think Tuesday or Monday, and it was that Wednesday. So, and the last one I'll make a comment on is RoboCop Rogue City. I agree with Robin. That sounds like I agree with Kim as well. This game looks just fun. It captures RoboCop, and I loved RoboCop. When it first came out. So being able to play as RoboCop. It's this game is going to be messy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if you remember that Punisher game that came out that is kind of super gory.
Right.
This has a little bit of that vibe to it as well, but it's RoboCop, so there's a little bit of comicalness to it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm in for RoboCop.
Yeah.
I just I love that. Alan Wake 2 also. Mark may get a gift from me because I may just break down and buy this game.
But it kind of looks like the original RoboCop that they've done here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sort of story within that, it's Murphy and Even there's scenes there with the car busting up the driveway, leaving the police station. Very, very similar. And his wee partner looks there as well. And there's the gasworks where our friend was turned into jelly. Oh yes, that's her too. It looks awesome. I mean, that's recognizable as her. I'm sure she doesn't look like that now. And RoboCop does.
Well, so
RoboCop.
hopefully,
RoboCop's a veg
this
machine.
this is a solid game.
Yeah, it looks fun. Fun.
Yeah.
Gory. Very good. Excellent stuff.
All right, Kim. Let's talk some new releases.
Okie dokie. Scroll down there a little bit. Alrighty, your new releases for October 29th through November 4th are Resident Evil Village for iOS, October 30th. Resident Evil Village Winter's Expansion for iOS, also on the 30th. Jusant, maybe, for the PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC on October 31st. And I believe it's coming to Game Pass. So, I think that's the climbing game that we all saw. I'm not real sure it thrilled me any, but, who knows? I could be wrong. The Forest Cathedral for PS5, October 31st. Alien Hominid Invasion, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 1st. Song of Nunu. Sounds like something off of Futurama. A League of Legends story for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One. Hold on, I got some weird thing popping up on my screen here. And Switch and PC on November 1st. Blasphemous 2 for the PS4 and Xbox One, November 2nd. For the King 2 for the PC on November 2nd. Played Up. I assume that's some sort of, I don't know, either cooking game or baseball. I'm not sure. But anyway, Played Up for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, November 2nd. Power Wash Simulator for the Quest, November 2nd. Just what y'all wanted for the Quest. Power Wash Simulator. Anyway, RoboCop, Rogue City. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC, November 2nd. Ooh, really? Star Ocean, the second story R for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, November 2nd. Oh, another good one. The Smurfs 2, The Prisoner of the Green Stone. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 2nd. I laugh at that, but more than likely, if it's on Game Pass, I'll check it out. The Talos Principle 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, November 2nd. This one, I don't know why it irritates me, but it does. Thirsty Suitors for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 2nd. You'd think that'd be right up my alley, but it kind of irritates me, and I don't know why. Vampire: The Masquerade Justice, PlayStation VR 2, and Quest, November 2nd. And last but not least, we have WarioWare, Move It, for the Switch, November 3rd. So there you are.
Okay, so Thirsty Suitors. It just sounds like a date sim game to me.
It is something like that. I don't know. I think it's the weapon. Is it the weapons one? I think where they're like swords and shit, and they turn into guys, and you get to date them, which sounds really fucking weird to me. But okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That maybe the dating sims things just aren't my bag.
Suddenly, sword swallowing comes to mind, and
right.
Anyway, Alan Wake 2, was that on here?
No.
No, that came up.
RoboCop is though.
RoboCop, that's the one.
Yes.
I think it's full price though. That's my only hesitation. I want to see some reviews first.
Yeah.
Right. Probably.
Yeah, it's still off.
Yeah. I believe there's some love for Alien Hominid Invasion. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
From the chat at least. I think it was Boof was
oh, we get the news here.
That. So I don't know about that. I never got on with those games, but to each their own. I don't want any more Power Wash. Just saying. Although on the Quest, that could be pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Being able to kind of freely move around and Power Wash. I mean, it's just like real life. Oh,
there
wait. You can do that in real life. And actually clean something.
You got a power washer. That is.
Yeah, true. You can rent one at the store.
Right.
Go to Home Depot.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for that, Kim. Appreciate that. It was quite a long list of games.
It really is, considering.
Yeah. It's
everybody getting out of the way of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right.
Next. All right.
Do we need a new one?
Bongo.
Yeah.
Bongo Racing.
Oh,
What's
okay.
going on
Okay. Well,
next week?
There'll be some practice going on through the week here. Thursday night there is the Warriors Series round at round 2 at Paul Ricard. There's still space if you want to get. There'll be a second server sitting ready to roll. Join the Discord. Go to bongosbits.com and you'll find all the details there. All the results are up for everybody on Bongo Racing right now. I spent a day coding it and learning CSS again, stuff that I hadn't used in 30 years. So that's all done. So yeah, come and join. Go to bongosbits.com and that's how you'll get all the details for Discord and all the other bits and pieces. But come and join. And
I hear Paul Ricard. That is the name of the
Paul
track, right? Paul Ricard. But I think of Pernod Ricard, which is a distributor of distilled alcohol.
Just drink.
Yeah.
Drink.
Yeah.
And again, usually be doing some Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay. Wednesdays will be Halo, as is. That we will continue on that. There's been a nice little resurgence in the Halo community with this season 5 release. So I kind of like the I don't want to call it it's not a revenge story for sure for Halo Infinite, but it's this resurgence for them. They've been able to kind of turn what was a pretty bad story, and that Halo launched to really good review and then just fell on its face because they didn't have a good content plan for anything. And now they finally have made the right changes, I think, internally within 343, that they're rolling out good content. The community is happy with it, and so it's got a resurgence of players coming into it, which is great. And good. Then if Mark ever shows up, hint hint, PUBG on Fridays. We'll try and get that going again.
Yep.
Snoogans keeps wanting us to play the PC version of it, and I don't want to do that because when he plays on a console,
he's bad enough.
Right.
Let alone being
just
twitchy.
like me. Yeah. He's not lighting the world
It's a
on
handicap.
fire. So it's like it feels equal.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't tell him I said that.
Huh.
Anyway. All right. I think that's it. I think we can kind of wrap things up unless you have anything you want to talk about. Kim, Robin, anything on your mind before we?
I'm just going to mention something because I sent a little message to Greg earlier on today. I've been around the podcast for 10 years or more now. I don't know, a long time. Yeah. And Greg and I are he's one of the best friends that I have in the world.
I hate you.
Yeah. So the Bongo Racing thing is really, really gathering speed, and family life is very, very important to me as well. And I'm spending far too much time doing my own work and doing the Bongo Racing stuff, and it kind of meant that every Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night I was doing things. So what I'm doing is I'm not leaving the podcast, but I'm going to be on alternate weeks. So it'll be on a week, off a week, on a week, because I want to keep Saturday night free for family. I don't want to do any racing stuff. It'll be rare that I do anything that way. It's not saying that it won't be every week, but if I'm going to try and do a Sunday early evening race for the community, because I usually was doing it on Saturday and it's too much. So I'm not going, but I'm just stepping back a little bit.
Robin's been trying to put this in a very nice way. He's trying to tap dance around it. Look, the separation papers have been filed. Yeah, the separation papers have been filed. Robin is gonna alternate time now. It's like having custody rights with children. So we will get Robin every other week.
Yes.
So that's when we get our time with
Robin. Or
more. We'll have to work out holidays.
Yeah, so
sometimes things change.
Next weekend is different because you'll have my time with Extra Life and all other bits and pieces there as well. So I'm not saying that it won't be, but that I need to spend Judith and family time. That's the most important.
Look, I love Judith to death, but she's third tier, Robin. Just tell her I said that.
No, she'll slap you around the head. Anyway, so that's that.
It's
so
better she slap you than me.
So it's not that I'm disappearing. So if you want to come along and join the team, that would be your perfect time to do that now. We'd love some fresh blood in there. And you know what we do? We chat. And it's a great chat. And I love this chat. And I'm not going away anywhere. I'm just having to spread my time a little bit more. So thank you. I love you. Honestly, I can say that. Oh, big hug. Yeah, we've done so much together, and it's been so
honestly,
great.
We
and,
love you too, and I hate you.
and
So
and for the majority of this year, my butt has been recovering. So I do want to just actually mention a friend of the show, a name that we've known for many years, Master Zulu, Alan Bennett, and we want to wish him all the very best. He's been going through cancer treatment, and yeah, that's pretty tough going. And we heard about this today. So, yeah, fuck cancer, you know.
Okay, real quick, the chat, got to bring this up. Double A props to Boof. Bongo going out for milk, promising he will return every other week. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, forgive me. I feel bad, but at the same time, this is gathering speed and it needs some attention. So I mean,
That's
week,
okay.
my
You're gonna join the ranks of disappointment, like Pete. You know,
probably
every
yeah,
time it's ready for the show, Pete's like, "Oh,
no, it's not going to be that way." I will,
will
because that's why I'm being very clear. This is what it is. It's not. I'll try and
give
make
me a
it.
hard time.
You know what
It's
that
okay.
means, though? Greg's just stuck with me. So
It's true. We're going to be talking
Yep.
about calendars
Phil,
a lot
get
more
back here.
frequently, people.
Phil, get back here. Phil, Mark, get your ass in gear. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's that. And
all right.
And you've mentioned Mr. Perry.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
To Matthew Perry.
That me.
It's very sad.
Yeah. Troubled life, but I mean, if we forget all that stuff, we laughed at that man and with that man so much over the years. So
yeah, right. He
I
said he
mean,
was my
you know,
favorite friend.
He was many people's favorite friends. I'd go. I. It's funny. I watch that show, and I gravitate between who I find the funniest.
Phoebe.
You know, there's times where Joey just kills me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's times where Matthew Perry, I think, just shines. But then Ross, and I think the three of them really were my favorites out of all three of them, just because relating.
All three
as
of
a
them were
guy.
my favorites out of all three of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ross also has a particular just odd sensibility to
Yeah,
him.
they're odd people.
And we can never forget the staircase, moving the couch, and pivot. So-
Anyway, so yeah, what a way to go in the hot tub. Yeah, and terrifying as well because we're both 54, and when you think about
I
it,
didn't want to bring that
yeah,
up.
no,
When
I know,
his
but-
age, I saw 1969, and I was like,
I thought he was
oh.
older. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you think about when he's, you know, he came from pretty much nowhere to that worldwide stardom, and some people seem to handle that better than others, and
Yeah,
and
agreed.
and addictions got the hold of him. So
Yeah.
thanks for the laughs.
Emphasizes how much I did not succeed versus what he did.
That too. That too. He worked for 10 years and then drank and drunk.
No, he
drunk
was set
and
for
drunks.
life. I mean,
Yeah.
just think about it. He just lived off of that show.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, that's that.
Kim, any shout outs you want to do?
All right, I'm gonna shout out our chat. We've had Boomer, and Hardly Dan in there today, so thanks
Lovely.
guys for showing up.
Lovely, thank you.
Shout out to Phil for sending my cat ears to me. I don't know what's it been, a couple, 3 years ago. Still got them. So you know, shout out to you guys as always. It's fun.
Thank you,
to,
Kim.
You know, actually talk to adults, and, you know, not children. Although Tony's been ding donging me since the podcast started, worried the Chiefs are gonna lose. So he's like, I think we're gonna lose. I'm like, just give it time, dude. It'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. So unless they send Taylor Swift around to visit you when they lose or something, dear God, don't let that happen. But anyway, hopefully everybody has a good Halloween or a week, whatever. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully.
We will. We shall be back next week. We will do some kind of extra life special. So to keep that in mind. Likely not a live show, but probably a recorded show that we'll publish. Again, Kim and I are going to be gaming for 24 hours. If you want to donate,
please do.
Please do to any one of us. Don't donate to Gary though.
No.
Gary DeFelice, no. Kim Woods, sure. Me, absolutely. You know, but Gary, no. Gary, bad. Kim, Greg, good. Just keep that in your back of your head. Shout out to the two of you. Thank you. This is group therapy. We are all best of friends. So, you know, this is a needed thing in life, just to be able to talk to friends and vent and talk about life and just the funny moments of life. And that's what we do on the show. It really is. So as Robin said, if anybody out there, anybody in the chat, I know Dan has talked about it before. I think
Yeah, Dan would be
Boomer
great.
kind of hinted at he's afraid of talking in public.
Right. So was I
so,
though, and here I am.
yeah.
So
But also poof, just saying, just if you have that twinkle, if you have that itch in your groin and you're like, what is that? Is it really an itch in my groin, or is it an itch to podcast?
right.
Explore it. Don't tell us about the exploration, but when you come out of it, and if you're thinking you want a podcast, we can talk.
Right.
Beyond that, shout out to my dad. This is also one of those things that my schedule may become a bit jumbled just because of life.
Well, we'll step up.
He has been battling cancer, and it's tough. This is I can't imagine going through what he's going through. So I will just say it that way. But life is short, so don't waste a minute of it if you can, in terms of tell the people you love that you love them. Remember, the last words you say to anybody could be your last words. So you never want that to be a negative thing. And I'll just that will be my parting gift to you right now, just to take us out. And on that note, get out of here. Go have a great week. Come back next week. Well, Ish, just listen next week. Yeah, well done.
Such a sacrilegious bastard.
That was perfect.
Bye,
Let's
guys.
go. Let's get out of here.
See
Come back
yous.
at 2
Bye.
live. But listen next week, because we'll have something for you.
Good stuff. Give money.
Second.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.